And then all of a sudden, like 6 SUV cops just pull in, like come flying in. Yeah.
We were like,
all right, hey guys.
hi guys, welcome back to another video.
With another one.
Today we're going to be doing a little story time.
It's gonna be a roller coaster.
A roller coaster.
A lot of ups, a lot of downs.
Up highs, a lot of lows. This story time is about our entanglement with the police. We're criminals. I don't know what else to tell you.
I think you're baiting them a little bit.
Okay, we're not criminals, but we did have an experience with an arrest, very up close and personal, very close to home.
Yeah.
And you'll see why I say that once you start watching the video.
Yeah.
But it was a wild time.
It is.
Let's just get right into the dirty deeds.
The dirty deeds. But yeah, so for our story, it starts with us, and we were just sitting down, we were watching Netflix. I think we were having like popcorn and just
yeah, we were just having like a movie night. We were just literally sitting on our couch watching, you know, something. And we live really close to a hospital, so we always hear sirens because it's right there.
right on the way, yeah.
So at first, we didn't think anything of anything.
Yeah, it just sounded like they were like faint in the distant sirens.
Yeah, so we were just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sirens like kept getting louder and louder and louder. And eventually it just sounded like the sirens were either getting louder or just not moving. And so I look at Dalton and I was like, Dalton, pause, because he was literally oblivious to what was going on. I don't think he was really paying attention, but I was. And I said, wait, Dalton, please pause what we're watching because I need to know. I asked him, I said, are these sirens getting louder or are they staying in one place?
Yeah, and so I ended up getting up and just walking over to our kitchen window, which looks out into the main like street that our apartments are in. Like it's in a gated area, but there's like a main street that goes down and all the buildings branch off from it. And so I just looked out the window and was trying to see something, and I saw blue flashing lights because I looked to my left up towards where you exit out of the apartment complex, and I was like, oh, they must be like just right outside. And then Jill gets up and she looks to the right, which I guess that was too hard for me to do, but Jill looks to the right and there's like a cop car like in our apartment complex.
So I was like, oh my gosh, there's like a cop car just sitting right there on the street right behind our apartment. Yeah. And so we like kind of just staggered for a minute, like we were just kind of like, what the heck, that's so weird. Yeah. But then I was like, I kind of want to go outside and see it.
Yeah.
So I ran upstairs and like grabbed shoes and stuff, and I'm like trying to come down the stairs and stuff, and so we go outside, and at this point like everyone in the apartment complex is starting to come outside because they heard the sirens and obviously see the blue lights, and so we're just standing there and looking.
Then, and then all of a sudden like 6 SUV cops just pull in, like come flying in. Yeah.
We were like,
what is going on?
And then they lift open their trunk and whip out all their big AK-47s?
They're
14s? What are they called? No, whatever.
Doesn't
matter. They just start whipping out these giant assault rifles out of their
trunk.
And we were like, whoa, what in the heck?
Yeah.
I literally grabbed on. I was like, should we go back inside? Like, I'm concerned.
Yeah. And it was scary, and like you had like, while this is all happening, more and more cops are coming up, like motorcycles are pulling up and stuff. Undercover cops.
I want to say there was at least 20 different vehicles for police enforcement.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Over there.
And we were just like, what is going on? And the cops are like yelling at the people like to close their doors as they're like getting out of their cars, like just pedestrians being like, hey, close our police doors, as they're like darting out and running towards something.
Yeah.
And we had no idea what they were running towards.
Yeah, they would just all start like bolting, and we were like, is there like someone, is there a shooter?
Yeah.
Is there, we just had no clue what was going on, so it was kind of scary because we were, should we go back inside? Yeah. Should we stay out here and see what's happening?
Yeah. Because like we didn't know anything, and they weren't yelling, so we kind of assumed it wasn't anything, like they weren't yelling at us to like get inside or anything, so we assumed it wasn't super serious. But we were also like, why is there 20 cars? It's
not that we didn't assume it wasn't serious because there was 20 cop cars, but it was, we assumed there wasn't anything that could put anyone else into any harm.
Yeah.
So we had no clue what to think it was. Everyone is just standing outside and we're all asking each other, do you know what's happening? No, do you know what's happening? So we stand outside for a good like 10 minutes just watching all these cop cars come up. Some of the cops are just standing around talking. I mean, you know, we immediately saw people with K9 units and their big AKs going down and like chasing.
But then after like 5 to 10 minutes, it was just silent. Like there was no cops. All their vehicles were still there, but there was no cops or anything. So we were kind of like, where did they go?
Well, I feel like saying it's silent is like a bit of a...
I mean, it was pretty silent. Like all the sirens were off, the lights were flashing,
but it wasn't silent. You could hear people talking,
right?
And stuff
But
like
I'm
that.
saying like there wasn't any yelling, there was no cops running around. Like, we were just
definitely like calmed down.
Yeah, we were like, what?
And
what's
so
going on?
after like 5 or 10 minutes of us sitting there and being like just kind of watching from a distance, some of the extra cops started to leave, and so I was just really confused because I was like, I didn't see anything happen.
Yeah.
Like, what was the reason? Are we okay now? Why are the cops leaving? And so I really wanted to know what was going on. I'm very nosy. I couldn't help it. So I was like, Dalton, let's go over there and like figure out what's going on. And he was like, I don't really want to go over there. I'm like kind of scared. Because it was just right across the street where the main, like all the cops were and a lot of people were too. And I was hoping that one of the people over there would know more about what happened because they were closer to it.
Yeah.
And so Dalton at first was saying no. But then there was this girl, she was like, I want to know what happened too. I'll go over there if you go over there. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, so we just walked over.
Forced Dalton to come with me.
So we walk over there and it's only like 50 feet. It's like not super far away. And so there was obviously bigger groups of people gathered by the cop cars. And so we walk over there and we just kind of started talking with people and we were like, what's going on? And come to find out,
there was a person who was selling and had in his possession illegal substances. We never found out exactly what it was, but it was definitely something.
Yeah.
And so he was like on the run from the police and they were like chasing him and he drove into his, like he lived here.
Yeah.
He drove into the apartment complex. Like that was the, first of all, the dumbest thing. It's an
it's a
enclosed
one-way,
area. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And so that's why it was just one cop at first with the sirens still going on, because the guy had like stopped like in the middle of that road and jumped out and ran. And so that cop that was initially following him jumped out of his car too and started to chase him. So that's why the sirens never shut off, and we were hearing those loud sirens for like a long time, and we were like, what is going on? So yeah, we found out from people that we were around that that's why the cops were there.
Yeah, so as we're standing there with this, you know, bit larger group of people, all of a sudden we see like all these cops start coming back, and then one of the cops has the guy in handcuffs.
And it was really funny because everyone was just like being mean, but I mean he
did it to himself.
He did it to himself,
so, like,
but everyone was like yelling at him, being like, that was stupid, what you doing, look at you now. We were just sitting there being like, ooh, like I had never been so close to like a criminal scene like that, an arrest like that.
We were part of the crime scene.
Oh my gosh, we were rebels.
Rebels.
And it was really cute too because they did have K9 units on the scene.
Everyone just went
when
crazy.
The K9 unit was walking back, we were like, oh, that's the goodest boy ever. Caught the bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny.
And he was so excited. He was big old smiles.
He was really proud of himself. But he actually wasn't the one that like found the guy. I don't think. I mean, he probably helped in finding him, but
He's still a good boy. So they walk him back. They put him in the cop car, like arresting him, and then some other cops start to like search his car.
And we were standing next to the vehicle that the cop was pulling out all the AKs, and we all just kind of like started talking to the cop because everyone was really curious, like how'd they find him, you know, what are they doing, stuff like that. And so someone asked the cop, well, how did you find him or know where he went? And the guy, and we were like, if you can tell us, like I don't know why he wouldn't be able to, but he said it was find my iPhone. This guy did not ditch his phone if he was gonna be running from the police. Like Why would you, that is like the easiest way to track a person I feel like ever.
Yeah.
Is by your phone.
For sure.
So it was really funny to find out that that's how they found him.
It was wild. And then like as he finished like explaining like how they found him, I don't know how big I thought like guns were. I'm not a gun person. I've never really like seen guns, but guns are big.
Yeah.
Like he was
it
like
was scary. He was unstrapping and stuff, and I was grabbing Dalt. I was like, that's a really big gun really close to me, and I don't feel comfortable in the slightest bit at all. And so we were talking to this other guy. After we talked to the cop and kind of figured out what's going on, we were about to kind of walk away, but then we were talking to this other guy.
And the guy was just telling us that the roommate of this guy who got arrested had another roommate
previous to
this guy who got arrested, who also got arrested for the same reason. I don't think he ran, and it wasn't like this big dramatic thing, but this poor roommate has had 2 roommates that got arrested.
So he just is,
poor guy,
you know,
just doesn't
get the fair end of
I would like to hope that he was friends with the person and it wasn't just random, because I feel
like it would be random though, because I feel like if you're friends with that many people that sell illegal substances, you're probably involved, and then how would the cops not know about him and like not arrest him too?
That's true. So it's probably just random.
It's probably just random. That's what I would think, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, it was definitely a crazy experience. Feel bad for the roommate because that's just a lot to go through.
Oh, I'm sure.
I definitely would not want to be in that situation. No. So then after we figure out everything, we, you know, spread the news to the people who hadn't heard it yet. So this was a whole, like, what do you want to say, like 30-45 minute ordeal? Because we stood over here just watching for at least 15 minutes. And
then went over there.
And then went over there for probably another 15, and then was walking around talking to other people, like, as we tried to come back in the apartment, so. But
it's definitely one of the craziest things that I've ever been part of. Like.
No, it was, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it went from, like, being, like, really scary to kind of, like, a mystery feeling to, like, a calm resolution. It was like a movie.
A little bit of comedy mixed in.
Yeah, no, it was a good experience. I'm glad that it happened.
You are?
It made the night super exciting. We weren't doing anything.
That's true. We were getting ready for bed.
Yeah, we were literally probably gonna go to bed in the next like 30 minutes. So it got me all hype. I was like, what the heck? That's crazy. My adrenaline was running. But yeah, so that's the story time of how we were entangled with the cops. Stretching the truth a little bit, but
still. If you enjoyed this type of video, this like story time kind of thing, we have tons of other fun, interesting stories. We love telling stories, so if y'all are interested in hearing more of those stories, comment down below, let us know. And go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Of course. And we will see you guys in the next video. One. Bye. Bye.